Con Knipple, Cooper Flagg, the two guys that have been battling it out for Rookie of the Year here over the last, for the entire season. Con Knipple leads the NBA in threes. Cooper Flagg has been sensational here over the last couple of weeks. He's battled a couple of different injuries that has caused him to miss some games. And really, up until this past week, Con Knipple looked like the odds-on betting favorite at BetMGM to win Rookie of the Year. And I think he's been sensational. I think he deserves it. But all of a sudden here, out of nowhere, Cooper Flagg has become the favorite to win the award, Brad, because on Friday night against Orlando, he had 51 points. And then yesterday against the Lakers, he had 45 points and a near triple-double. And all of a sudden, Cooper Flagg is now minus 200 to win the Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's about as recency bias as you can have. Do you agree with that? Or do you think this is completely absurd that 2 games is going to determine the NBA Rookie of the Year?
People are injecting that recency bias into their damn veins. It is indeed a hell of a drug, and it's absolutely bat-bleeping crazy right now that Flagg is favored by, minus 200 or greater. There at BetMGM. At my BetMGM app here in the ILL, it's minus 215, Pat. So that's just crazy to me. How quickly that script flips. And it just goes to show that a lot of people just bleed into that recency bias. And they're like, oh, my gosh, Cooper Flagg, this is practically guaranteed. Did it against LeBron? Oh, the great, the wonderfully walks on water, God of basketball himself, LeBron. It's destiny that he is going to win the NBA Rookie of the Year, but it's full body of work. And if you look at the NBA advanced analytics that ESPN tracks, as they do their version of wins above replacement, so WAR, which is a popular stat that measures your overall team value in baseball, they apply it at ESPN with some of the similar advanced metrics to basketball. I looked it up right before the show, Pat. This is real, folks. Con Knipple is number 14 in all the NBA in total WAR this year. Would you, Pat, like to venture a guess where Cooper Flagg is? Just throw out a number.
I don't know. I'll go with 53rd.
76. 76 in the NBA. He's your front runner over Con Knipple, who's number 14 in total WAR. Okay, you're not satisfied. Break it down a little bit more, would you, Evans? All right, I'll go and give it to you. Con Knipple, number 10. Number 10 in the entire NBA and WAR from an offensive point of view. Defensive, a little bit different. He's number 138 there. That's where Flagg bests him. But Cooper Flagg is only number 95 in WAR, despite a couple of outstanding offensive performances in offensive WAR, and he's number 62 in defensive WAR. It's not even remotely close, folks. Con Knipple should win NBA Rookie of the Year in a romp. And I think people are just overpaying right now for what's happened here the last 3-4 days with Cooper Flagg. You know what that means? Buying opportunity for your boy at plus 145 right now for Con Knipple to win Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's I said this before about the MVP. Our friends at BetMGM, they don't determine who wins the award. The voters do. And I just don't see how, Cooper Flagg has played 66 games, so he's obviously eligible. Flagg has played almost every single game. He's played 78 games here. He's averaging under 19 points per game, over 5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Cooper Flagg averaging a little bit more in all those categories, 21 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. But again, you look at the shooting percentages. Con Knipple is shooting a higher field goal percentage, and he's shooting 43% from deep. Cooper Flagg's not a three-point shooter. He's 30% from deep. And so we talk about this with the MVP, doesn't it kind of matter at least a little bit what the Rookie of the Year is doing? Con Knipple has been the second best player. You could even argue he's been the best player on the floor for the Hornets all season long. For a team that's going to make the playoffs, and Cooper Flagg has been the best player on the team for a lottery team. That doesn't matter at all. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, team affiliation association has to matter a ton, quite frankly. He is a major reason why his value to the Charlotte Hornets is one of the primary reasons why they are going to punch your ticket for the NBA postseason. That doesn't really belittle everything that Cooper Flagg has done. Flagg just does not have the supportive cast around him. So as a result, it does buoy his statistical output because they're relying more on him in terms of volume of shots, in terms of his overall responsibilities. This shouldn't be remotely close, folks. If you have a vote, and there's probably no voters that are listening to us right now on BetMGM tonight, but if I had a vote, it would be immediate check in the box for Con Knipple over Cooper Flagg, and I wouldn't even have a single fleeting second thought about it. This should not be a conversation. Con Knipple deserves Offensive Rookie of the Year, NBA Rookie of the Year, and he inevitably should receive it. So if you were buying into the recent line movement, I got a property in the Bahamas I'm glad to sell you.